getting ready to blow his brains out right now.
Some step-parents never truly love their stepchildren, and most times go as far as putting them in life-threatening situations.
You
got some blood drops on your shoes.
When he fell, where'd he get hurt?
Just on his head, but he fell on the ground and he hurt himself.
But what happens when they are caught red-handed in the act? Here are several instances when evil step-parents get caught in the act. The first, yet least interesting case is the case of 11-year-old Ganon Stauch, whose existence was cut short in its prime by his stepmother, who harbored strong ill feelings towards him and pretended not to know anything about his disappearance.
I'm being charged with what now?
We found enough, you call it probable cause.
Okay.
It was for the murder.
What murder?
Ganon stuff.
So Ganon is murdered.
That's what the evidence shows.
We're inspecting the bridge, found that suitcase down there, decided we'd open it to see if anything was in it. Body rolled out.
On the 27th of January 2020, Colorado Springs police officers received a very call. A woman identified as Leticia Stauch called in to notify the cops that her 11-year-old stepson had failed to return home after leaving their residence to visit a friend. Following the reports, the officers promptly commenced an investigation that they didn't know would lead them into a never-ending maze, filled with unusual twists and turns, crowned by the ultimate betrayal of an 11-year-old by the very person who was expected to protect him.
Paso County 911. My son was supposed to be home at 6 o'clock, and it's almost 7. He's only 11.
Okay. What's his name?
Ganon.
When was he last seen?
Maybe around like 3:30, maybe.
Has this ever happened before?
No. So we went to the neighbor's house. My daughter just went to Stingray Park, and he's not there.
And who was the last person to see him?
I guess me.
Leticia had everything planned out and had done all that was humanly possible to make sure that the missing boy wasn't traced back to her. But she had one big problem. She was the last person known to have seen Ganon alive, making her the first point of call. Although she claimed he'd gone out to her friends, the boy was known to be an introvert who always preferred staying indoors playing video games. It was the knowledge of this fact that began the process of opening several cans of worms that his stepmom had carefully concealed. However, the biggest problem the officers had was that the many puzzle pieces were looking impossible to piece together. As earlier mentioned, since Leticia was the last person known to have seen Ganon alive, she was brought in for questioning. It was the loopholes in her story, which are different from what she had stated in the emergency call, that began to give the cops the belief that they could unravel the mystery behind the missing boy.
Taking me through Sunday into Monday, and be as detailed as possible.
Sunday, Ganon had started a candle. The fire thing went off. It started saying fire, 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 fire. So then I see smoke coming up from the downstairs. So then I ran back downstairs to get Ganon. Fire was on the floor over here, then on the sofas. There was covers everywhere. I take a whole bunch of them and I go and basically smash down on the sofa and the fire to put it out. Honestly, we were gonna fix the carpet and try to not say anything. Albert freaks out about every little thing. So that's where Sunday kind of stopped and everybody went to bed.
Since she was asked to give a rundown of what had transpired in the home some days prior to her stepson's disappearance, she was well aware that it would be smart to build up a story with a good plot, as she wanted to introduce a new detail which she had failed to report to the cops in her call.
And I know there's 2 things I gotta fix. Number 1, I need to fix the carpet, and number 2, I need to figure out, does Ganon need to go get some burn cream or whatever. Larson Ranch is a bunch of new builds, construction. So I pulled up and I was like, hey, do you know where you can get the carpet that is in the Larson Ranch model home? So we got the carpet from the guy in the construction area. Well, I didn't get it then. He said he was going to bring it to me. So I gave him the address. And this is where I messed up. I gave him our code to get in because he was going to go fix it. And me and Ganon left. We went some places around town.
By stating that there was someone else in the home when Ganon went missing, Leticia was hoping to direct the officers' suspicions to a new and non-existent suspect. This way, she'd be able to slip under the radar, at least for now.
We started to head home. As we got inside, I heard something. And I just started walking downstairs, opened the storage closet, and he was standing in there. He had on gloves. He had one of the guns. And I was terrified. So terrified. And then he just knocked me down and he was hitting on me and he was trying to like rape me. It's all my fault because I gave him our code to fix the carpet.
Okay.
And I shouldn't have.
Unfortunately for the crazy stepmom, the thing about telling lies is that more lies are needed to cover them. And more lies, although exposing loopholes in a well-constructed story, are somewhat limited in supply. By mentioning that she was attacked by some stranger who her intimately, herself in the leg, and her castle of lies would soon come crashing down.
I swear to God, I don't know what happened from there. I really don't know. I kind of like blacked out just a little bit.
We had talked earlier about whether or not it would be able to take action at this point as far as like gathering evidence, whether it had been too long, and I told you that it wasn't. Is that something that you're willing to do?
Yes, definitely. I would do anything for you to figure out who Eduardo is.
We'd like to get you over to the hospital for that.
No, I would totally do that, but I really am. I just want to get some food and take a minute, and I can drive myself to the hospital. Okay, you said I was free to go.
Are you wanting to leave right now?
I'm really hungry. I'm thirsty. Look at my lips; they're chapped.
Can you give me just a few minutes?
She said that I would be able to go.
And I'm not saying that you can't. I'm asking if you can give me a few minutes. That's all.
I can. If you can, just call me, or I have to maintain my mental health in this whole situation.
It would be better to get the forensic exam
I'm not going over there like
before you take a shower.
Not like cleaned. I'm not doing that. That's disgusting. I'm not doing that. But I will gladly go.
But you realize that's how we gather evidence, right? So if you go take a shower right now, and I understand that you're like uncomfortable, I would like to get you over to the hospital to get the exam done.
Okay, well, then I'm driving myself there.
Her reluctance to undergo an examination was one of the earliest signs that she knew more than she was telling the cops. But this was just the beginning. It was when they arrived at the hospital that Letitia began to feel that the heat was getting a bit too much for her to bear. But being a smart woman, she wasn't about to simply give up. At least not after considering what was at stake if the cops were somehow able to link the missing boy to her.
Sit down on the couch.
Sir, I can't breathe. I'm just asking you to open the door.
Now we're going to have to call you an ambulance because you said you got chest pain.
I just told you I have chest pains. It's claustrophobic.
Okay,
I can't breathe.
so we're going to call you an ambulance. Yeah, well, you weren't claustrophobic until...
Excuse me. I take lorazepam every day, and if I don't take it, I could have a panic attack.
Not being able to directly tie the missing boy to her, the officers let her go, but the investigation was far from over. No one had any details about the missing boy yet. For Letitia, her lies had done more to expose her tracks than hide them. In addition, her demeanor was nothing like a woman who was grieving. As a result, her husband, Ganon's biological father, determined to find out the truth about his son, agreed to let the cops record several phone call conversations with his wife. It was the inconsistencies in her new story during the phone call that put the officers on a proper trajectory in finding out the truth about Ganon.
If you know it's an accident, are you going to stand by me?
Yes, absolutely, Tisha.
I'm sorry for all the stories. I just didn't know what to do. So we were going to get your... look at him and get your bike. I was like, get it right. It was really big, so the guy was helping. And he fell off of it and he got hurt bad. He was bleeding.
Where was he bleeding from?
His arms, his knees, his hands. I didn't have a phone to call 911. They're supposed to be taking him back and I called 911.
So the guy took him to take him to 911? The Craigslist guy? Quincy Brown or whatever.
I swear to God, Quincy's real.
What I'm trying to work out with you here is just the freaking truth.
Alfred, I'm calling you. He hurt Ganon. I was fine.
Okay, well, who is he? Who tied you up? Who did this? You didn't do it. Who did it? Who hurt Ganon? Who has Ganon?
Alfred, they're gonna kill me.
Who is they? These are the questions I need to know.
They first told me his name was Eduardo, but it's not. It's Quincy Brown.
At this point, the inconsistencies in her story were getting overwhelming and could only point to one thing. Letitia had a hand in her stepson's disappearance and was only trying to lay one layer of lies upon another. It was now only a matter of time before the cops had enough evidence to nab the lying stepmom.
So Quincy Brown is the one who has him.
He He's coming after me. Just know who he is.
Quincy Brown is the one holding Ganon for all the money? And you didn't tell me. So 3 weeks now, you've known who has my son.
Someone was following us. There was this pregnant lady. So I agreed to help the pregnant lady. And I realized she's not pregnant once she gets in the car. I just was supposed to walk in Petco, look around, be normal, go drop this lady off somewhere.
She told you to walk into Petco?
She forced me. It's just being caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time with people who are money laundering, wanting me to deliver paper to these Mexican restaurants, and you're supposed to get packages back from them. And I wouldn't do it.
You want me to believe you, but I feel like you're just telling me something to make me feel better about Ganon missing. Kind of like the Quincy Brown thing. I mean, now it's a pregnant lady with cash in her belly.
I'm innocent. What is wrong with you?
What's wrong is my son's missing and you keep lying to me, okay? That's what's wrong. Okay, fine. Give me my son back. Tell the truth. Give me my son back.
I don't have him.
Where's he at then?
You're ridiculous.
Who has him? You haven't answered not one of my questions. You're not doing nothing but lying to me and sending me in a different direction than what you know is the truth.
Things took a turn around for the worse for Letitia when the officers conducted forensics in her family residence. Although she did a good job in trying to hide the evidence of her crime, the officers found evidence that indicated that Ganon probably never left the home, or at least while alive. The investigators found evidence of bloodstains under the boy's mattress, carpet, and on the walls in his room. In addition, a neighbor's CCTV had also captured Letitia with Ganon, who appeared to be very weak around the time his stepmom claimed he'd left the residence. Armed with this new evidence, the officers moved in to arrest her and begun a whole new attempt at getting her to tell them where she had hidden her stepson, or at least what was left of him.
Do you know why you're here? Did they inform you why you're under arrest? Yes.
I'm getting charged with what now?
We found enough, you call it probable cause,
Okay.
for a warrant to be issued.
Okay, a warrant for what though?
It was for
What murder?
Ganon Stauch.
So Ganon is murdered.
That's what the evidence shows.
Okay.
There's a lot of stories out there. So if someone truly took Ganon, though, we need to know the real story because you put out quite a few different stories. I don't think you intended to hurt Ganon at all. Something bad happened in his room.
No.
If you didn't do it, and it helps me find Ganon,
I didn't do it.
okay, well then help me find out who did.
Who did what?
That to Ganon in his
Done
room.
Done what to Ganon in his room?
There's a pool of blood in the corner.
Okay.
That's Ganon's blood.
Where do you think that I had any involvement with Ganon, and where did he go?
You're the last adult with him. You told a lot of lies.
Realizing that she was a smart one, the detective tried to act friendly with her and actually got her to relax and open up. And for a moment, it seemed as if the interrogation technique was working, at least until Letitia got a grip of herself again. But no matter how smart she tried to be, the detective had a mountain of evidence against her and was ready to checkmate her at every possible turn.
If you can point me to a different person, then I can help you. If you trusted me to talk to me, you would tell me where Ganon is right now.
I don't know where Ganon is.
You do. If you would have told police the very first night that he was taken forcibly, everything would have been different. Here I even have what you entered in your phone. The stuff that you've entered and deleted, like blood is spurting from an arterial bleed, direct pressure not controlling.
Do what? I didn't look this up.
Somebody did from your phone. I don't like my stepson.
No.
I don't like my stepson. Should I get a divorce? How to get blood out of sheets.
Out of sheets?
Mm-hmm. If you did something bad to Ganon, could you ever admit it?
What? I didn't do anything bad to Ganon.
No. Right now, you're the last person with Ganon.
I don't do bad things to people. I don't.
I don't think you do bad things to people.
I don't do bad things to anyone, and I didn't do anything bad to Ganon. Why would I hurt our child? I had everything in the world. Why? I have no motive. None.
Although Letitia claimed not to have any idea what had happened to her stepson, a recording that she made on her phone revealed the contrary. From the recording, it was clear that the boy was unfortunate to have Letitia as a stepmother, shedding a great insight into the kind of relationship they had with each other.
Ganon, I promise this is the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaked out, okay? Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose?
He did it.
Okay, you promise. You promise.
On purpose.
Pinky promise.
Pinky.
We're gonna have to sell stuff to fix it, okay? So we figure out what we gotta sell. We can sell the sofa, we can sell whatever, because we gotta get it fixed. So lady, don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house. Okay? You got it? You got it?
I'm just worried about my friend.
Okay, shh. Listen.
At this point, the officers were nearly certain that Letitia had a hand in Ganon's disappearance. But unfortunately, she continued to maintain her innocence without revealing what exactly happened to him. Unknown to the investigating officers, they would find their answers in a suitcase thrown under a bridge 1,300 miles away, and in another heartbreaking call made to them by some bridge inspectors.
We were inspecting the bridge, found that suitcase down there, decided we'd open it to see if anything was in it. Body rolled out, along with what appears to be a comforter.
Further investigations revealed that Letitia had rented a van and drove about 1,300 miles to dispose of the suitcase which contained the body of her stepson. But it only gets more. Autopsy records revealed that the body was pierced about 17 times and severely hit in the head about 4 times before being. The bullet was traced to a firearm belonging to Letitia. Hydrocodone was also found in his body, a discovery which explained why Ganon was seen so lethargic in the CCTV footage from the neighbor on the day he went missing. It was after these discoveries that she was officially charged with taking her stepson's life, tampering with a deceased human body, and tampering with evidence. During her trial, she tried to put up a defense of insanity, but this was eventually struck down considering the nature of the crime and the very careful attempts to conceal it. On May the 8th, 2023, she was found guilty of first-degree and sentenced to life in prison. It is not always step-parents who have been caught maltreating their kids. Some evil parents, like Rejanie Morris, have also been caught maltreating their children. She was caught in a fit of anger by her autistic son.
What is going on?
First of all, I was trying to discipline my son. They got involved. My son is ADHD.
On the 12th of September 2021, police officers were called to a local gas station by concerned patrons, reporting an angry woman who was her autistic child.
Department, can I help you?
People fighting up here at Quick Trip.
How many people are fighting?
Well, mom was beating her kid really bad in here.
Ma'am, I can't hear you. Something's wrong with your phone. How many people?
Yeah, it's like 3, 4. And other people took the kid from her, and they're all yelling and freaking out.
All right, we'll be on the way up there.
The crazy mother, who was later identified as Rejanie Morris, soon turned out to be one of the meanest mums the cops had ever come across.
This lady's in here choking him and dragging him around the stores, right? So we tell her to calm down. And then she is just going crazy now. My homie's not in there holding her down right now.
Officer! Hurry! Get lightning here!
Oh my God.
Somebody better get this just touched me.
Okay.
She punched her and she punched her. Hey!
Oh,
Get her out!
She's throwing everything and beating her.
Place your hands behind your back.
I'm not.
Place your hands behind your
I
back.
like my son.
Place your hands behind your back. Place your hands behind your back. You just struck me.
Fine, but I want my son.
Okay.
No, because they're the ones who started.
Place your hands behind your back. Relax. Relax, okay?
Because they're the ones who started.
Keep your hands behind your back.
I am behind my back.
Okay.
And I would like to talk to an officer now.
Okay, I'm here.
I want my son.
Place your hands behind your back.
They're the ones who started it, and I want my son.
Okay. What is going on?
First of all, I was trying to discipline my son. They got involved. My son is ADHD. I was trying to get him out of the store. They got involved when they wasn't supposed to. I just want my son so I could go home, please.
So why are you throwing things? You hit me.
They're the ones who kept getting in my face and would not back off. Leave me alone.
Okay, so that's
your
reasoning for throwing things at me?
No, and I did not mean to throw them at you. I just want my son so I could go home. Because I know what the problem is with my son, and nobody doesn't want to
Step outside.
So basically, I just want my son so I can go home.
Are you here with anyone?
Just me and my son.
Where do you live?
Right behind us, and I would like to take my son home. He has workers. Right now, the workers and I've been dealing with this. He has ADHD. And I would like to get him home for medicine. So can I please take my son home?
Stand right here.
From the house on foot northbound and
I just want my son so I could go home.
We're going to figure all this out, okay? Have a seat in my car.
Was he still armed with a knife?
And I'll be willing to call.
Nobody can.
Having detained Morris, the officers went ahead to interrogate the witnesses, who gave them a little insight into the horrors she had committed against her son and people who tried to stop her.
You got video of this? Yeah. Can you show me?
The TT got videos of it too. Everybody here is gonna say the same. You literally just walk over to where they was behind the fountain drinks. Like,
so what was she doing with her child? Picking?
She was like, get up.
Like picking him up by the neck.
He's literally on his back and she's pulling him by the arm.
He like let it go. It hurt.
Get up.
Throw him down.
And she's sitting there. She's yelling all this like, I don't give a.
We wasn't even gonna say nothing, but it just kept going on. So then we walked back there, and then we just tried to tell her to stop, and she started tripping out.
Who did she?
Like 4 or 5 people.
Did she assault you?
Which one of y'all did she push with the door? One of these little kids. They called black. Like she's just sweet,
out of control.
My fiance, I had to actually like put her on the ground because she was getting way too out of control. I held her down for a little bit. She bit me.
I got a video of him holding her down to where she can't do anything anymore.
Okay.
But she was really getting out of control.
However, the witness's description of what had occurred was nothing compared to what the phone and CCTV footage of Morris's and her son was about to reveal.
I'm gonna give these people a reason to call cops. Let's go. When I say let's go now. I will call the police myself. When I said I will call the police. When I say let's go. I will give them. Nice, let's go. I mean, let's go now. What? You got to walk out. I will carry you out. Let's go. No, this is my son. I will let him out.
That's cool, but this ain't the time of.
I don't care.
I don't give a care.
Put the wait. No, I'm not. Put the towel down.
Put the towel down.
Let's go. Now.
Let him go.
Let's go.
Let him go.
Would you please
Let him go. Put him down.
This is my child.
I don't care. Hey, call the police. Don't hey. Lock the door. Lock the door.
You're making everything work. Let's go. Don't say
The child was later put in the custody of Child Protective Services, while his mother was charged with endangerment and 2 counts of against the concerned persons who tried to stop her from her son. She was eventually sentenced to 2 years in prison for the endangerment charge and 2 years in prison for the charge. Speaking of evil step-parents getting caught in the act, you should see the case of 10-year-old Breasia Terrell, who met an unfortunate end at the hands of an evil stepdad who acted like she was missing and pretended that he could never harm her.
Anyone you can think of that would try to take Breasia?
Why? For what reason? I don't understand how I got suspicious with my own kids, man.
Did you see your dad get anything out of the car? He grabbed some bleach, and what I saw in his trunk, he pulled it out. It was a knife, and then he washed it off.
On the 10th of July 2020, Iowa police officers received a 911 call from distressed Aisha Langford, reporting any parent's worst nightmare. Her 10-year-old daughter, Breasia Terrell, who had been spending the night at her stepfather's house, had gone missing without a trace.
911, what's the emergency? My daughter was staying the night with my son's dad and my son, and I had went into work, and he had just called me and told me that he don't know how long she's been gone. He doesn't know how long she's been gone, nor what she has on, or where she's even going. I haven't even got a call from her or anyone else.
Following the call, police officers rushed to the residence where Breasia was reportedly last seen to meet a worried mum and a stepfather who was doing his best to feign ignorance.
Your mom?
Yeah.
And Henry lives here?
Yeah, I guess so. This is where he told me to come.
Okay. What's up, Henry? So this is your girlfriend's address here?
Just a good friend. This is crazy, man. This is like, you know what I'm saying? I know she going hysterical, big brother.
Who have you called What doors have you knocked on?
I don't know these people out here. At first, I was riding around looking. And then me and my son started riding around looking.
Have we called family?
I've called everybody.
We've been everywhere. We've been everywhere.
First of all, she would have never woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and she would have never.
What you mean? 8 o'clock in the morning?
I'm just saying.
That ain't what I said. I never said.
I know you
guys,
didn't say that.
this isn't the time to fight.
Exactly. I don't give a about you walking. You lost her though.
How did I lose?
Because you was watching her, Henry. What the do you mean?
But hey,
I'm gone, sir. Come on, D.
listen to me.
That. I'm gone.
You guys got to come together right now. This isn't a time to fight about it. Okay? How am I supposed to? What do you want me to do? I got no picture. I got no. What do you want me to do?
What am I supposed to do?
Right. I get it. Henry, I get it.
All I can do is look.
I get it, Henry.
Although her stepfather, Henry Dinkins, was making things appear as if Breasia had walked away by herself in the middle of the night, circumstances indicated otherwise. The missing child was a little impaired and was new to the neighborhood. It was very unlikely that she'd walk away in the middle of the night all by herself. As the officers carried out further investigations around the neighborhood, it became increasingly evident that there was something amiss regarding Breasia's sudden disappearance.
You guys never heard her come down and walk out. There's no forced entry or anything like that.
No forced entry, no.
Was there any fights or arguments or anything last night? Where was she sleeping at?
My bed.
So she was sleeping in the bed with her brother? And you guys slept out here? Yeah. You haven't seen a little like 10-year-old black girl with long dreads walking around anywhere, have you?
Well, my God, I'll pray that she gets found and I'll be on the lookout.
Yeah, she will. We'll find her.
After an unsuccessful inquiry about the child or her whereabouts, the officers shifted their attention to the last person who had seen her alive, and it was none other than Henry Dinkins, her stepfather. Henry, upon realizing sooner or later the investigation would turn on him, disappeared and remained in hiding until it dawned on him that remaining in hiding would make things more complicated for him.
I was gonna come down, man.
It just makes it easier. We just can make contact with you right away.
But I was right there with the officer when he called.
Yeah, but then you left.
Because she left, and it made me mad because she was, basically blaming it all on me. Kind of odd because I never known Bree to ever leave, ever. You know what I'm saying? Never, ever leave. It was just odd.
Anyone you can think of that would try to take Breasia?
Why? For what reason?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
This is crazy, man.
Okay. So let's start out with yesterday.
Yesterday, Lil Dink wanted to come with me.
Okay, Lil Dink is
my son.
Your son.
I raised Breasia.
So Breasia are kind of what you consider your
my
kids.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
They my kids.
Okay. When did you pick them up?
Me and I'm trying to stay cool right now. Me and Aisha, I had seen them and they said they wanted to come and spend time with me. I picked them up at Aisha's mom's house.
And what car were you in when you picked them up?
I don't know, I think it was the Impala, I don't know. We went to the house, they started playing the games at the house. And then they took their showers. And then they got into bed. Me and Andrew laid down, I got up, I left. When I came back, I did a little look around. I didn't see Bree. I went and looked for Bree. So I only seen Lil Dink in the bed.
The thing about most suspects is that they try to play smart with officers who've had years of experience with criminal interrogation. Henry knew that he was the prime suspect, and as expected, his stories were aimed at trying to get the officers to shift their attention to someone else.
When I came back, Andrea was up. She like, what's wrong?
And then what'd you tell her?
I didn't tell her nothing. I was just like, man, right now I'm frustrated, I'm looking. I should have said something to her, but I assumed that she knew. I'm like, man, something ain't right, you know what I'm saying? I was freaking out a little bit. Came back, I grabbed Dink. I texted his mom, like, Bree's missing. She's like, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with me, Henry. So I'm like, man, no, I'm not playing, I'm for real. She was like, you're responsible, and it made me feel so bad because I am responsible, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was like lost. I didn't know what to say to her. I was lost for words. I couldn't even talk to her really. And she was yelling and screaming. First I'm thinking like, she ain't really missing. Once it really set in that can't nobody find her, that's when it hit me. She's missing.
Did you have your phone then when you were looking for her or no?
No. The phone wasn't even a concern, sir. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Finding her was the concern.
For sure.
For the time being, all the officers had to do was just listen and actively look for holes in his well-crafted story. It was only a matter of time before Henry began slipping.
Would you be fine if we downloaded the phone to have the call logs and the text?
For what reason?
To corroborate everything here.
I can just show you my phone.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? You want to see, I can just show you my phone. I mean, I can just open up my phone and let you go on my phone.
What's the passcode to your phone?
Just give me my phone and I'll open it up for you. Why are you looking at me to do my password?
Well, that's what I asked.
No, I said I will open it for you.
Yeah,
but
I'm
not going to give you my password.
Okay.
Why are you still watching? I don't want to open it then, bro.
You know? Okay.
Not if you're staring into me while I'm trying to get my number.
What I'm doing is I'm making sure that you're not going in and deleting anything. That's what my concern is.
Why would I delete something?
You never know with guys. Trust me. It happens.
I don't understand how I got suspicious with my own kids, man. These are my kids.
As the officers turned up the heat, it started becoming more obvious that Henry knew more than he was telling the cops. He was beginning to act very tense and evasive and was trying as much as possible to avoid direct eye contact.
You're breathing kind of heavy. Is it you're just
thinking about my baby? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like it's rough, bro. It's rough. Even though she ain't my biological, but she's still my baby.
What do you think happened?
Big bro, I don't even know. I'm not gonna even try to even put a finger on it. I don't know.
There's a bunch of people right now with the department going out there. We're trying to do what we can.
I pray to God that they find my baby. You know what I mean? Because we need her home.
Definitely.
We need her home.
Yep.
Henry was doing a good job at putting on a good show, but unfortunately for him, there was another person present the night Breasia went missing, her stepbrother and Henry's son. And his interrogation would turn out to be Henry's worst nightmare, and a good confirmation that he just might have had a hand in his stepdaughter's disappearance.
Your daddy picked you up last night, and then what happened when Dad got there?
He told me to brush my teeth, and then my sister came. He said she don't mind if he come.
Did she want to go with him? Okay.
My nana told her don't go, and she went.
Where'd you go right after Daddy picked you up?
We went to go get him some cigarettes, and then we went to his girlfriend's house.
What'd you guys do last night?
Played again.
And where were you playing that at?
In the living room.
Okay, who was in the living room with you?
Andrea.
Where was your daddy?
In the room with Bree.
What was he doing in the room with Bree? Was he sleeping?
No.
Was the door open?
Yeah.
Were you sad that he was playing with her and not you?
Yep, we're mad.
What'd you do after that?
We ate dinner, and then we went to bed, and then I woke up, and then she was gone.
Did you go looking for her?
And then me and my dad, when he got back, and then he told me he was lost.
Did your daddy drive you anywhere?
He went a couple places. He went to go fishing with a couple people.
This morning?
Yeah.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was in the car.
Did you actually see your dad with fishing poles? Or did he tell you he went fishing?
He told me.
Did you see your dad get anything out of the car?
He grabbed some bleach, and what I saw in his trunk, he pulled it out. It was a knife. And then he washed it off.
Washed it off with what though?
Some bleach and a rag.
Do you know where he went fishing? Do you think you could take me that way?
I don't remember that way.
What if I drove you down
It's
that
a
way?
long way.
That's okay.
I don't remember.
So
just a place where he got stuck.
He got stuck? His car
He needed another push.
Was it by the river or by a creek?
Water.
At this point, it was becoming obvious that Henry, contrary to what he had told his son in the events that followed Breasia's disappearance, never went fishing. The officers, while interrogating the boy, had no idea that all the answers they needed to crack the case were lying in the depths of that body of water he had just mentioned. But for the time being, their focus was on linking Breasia's disappearance to her stepfather.
So you know you're safe from your daddy, right?
Yes.
Do you know that everyone just wants to find where Breasia is, right?
Yep.
Including you, right?
Yep.
Let's talk about after dinner. What happened after dinner?
You had to go to bed.
So you locked the front door before you went to bed?
Yep. So then what happened? I woke up, he kicked me. Oh, and then I know that him and Bree was walking down the stairs. Was it light outside or dark outside? Light. And how do you know it was him and Bree? Because I heard Bree's voice. Where were you when you heard her voice? In the bedroom, In the peeking. bedroom. Why were you peeking? Was there something going on that you were... Because I was making sure he wasn't doing anything with my sister. Was he doing anything to your sister? No. Did your dad tell you not to say anything about something? Uh-huh. Can you tell me what your dad didn't want you to say? Nothing. Why are you getting mad at me? I'm not. Well, you are. Did your daddy say anything about the trailer? He told me don't tell y'all where the trailer's at. Why did he not want us to know about it? Because he was afraid. He said, if you tell anybody that I got a trailer, I'm going to tear you up. Where have you been then? You tell me. A place where he got stuck, there was dirt, and he had to go, boom!
By mentioning that his father's vehicle got stuck in some place, the boy had shared a piece of vital information that would turn out to be useful much later. Up till this moment, the officers could not figure out what had happened to little Breasia. Everyone involved feared the worst, and their fears came to pass about 8 months into the investigation. Sometime in March 2021, some fishermen stumbled upon what appeared to be some human remains. And upon further investigation, it was revealed to belong to Breasia Terrell. Autopsy reports showed that she had been struck in the face. It was this discovery that changed everything. But the officers still needed to pin Henry to the site where the body was found, and just when they needed it, they got a witness whose statements nailed Henry to the cross, embodying his crime.
We got a phone call that you had some information that you wanted to share with us. Tell me everything that you can possibly remember.
My buddy was asking me that, because when I was over at his house last night, I said, you know what's weird about them finding that body up there or whatever? I said, last fall, and I said, I can't remember the date, but I said, I pulled a black man out of the ditch there in the morning, like 4:30 in the morning.
At this point, it was now easier to link Henry to Breasia's disappearance. The statement of the fisherman who'd helped him when his car got stuck was a confirmation of what his son had mentioned earlier during his interrogation.
What color was the car?
Almost positive it was maroon.
I can guarantee it was an Impala. So I got on the 4-lane and I went about a half mile around the corner, and a black man jumped out the road in front of me and waved his arms. He said he was stuck in the ditch. And asked if I could pull him out. So he got in my truck, I took him down about another half mile, and there I seen his car in the ditch, and it was towards the south end of that pond. His trunk was facing, he was skewed just a little bit off the edge of the ditch. I asked him what the hell he was doing up here, and I said he made a wrong turn. Was there someone else in the truck? No.
With the overwhelming evidence against him, Henry was charged with first-degree and first-degree kidnapping. He was eventually found guilty of the charges against him and was sentenced to 2 life sentences without a possibility of parole. Henry Dinkins was an awful man, but some stepkids have been unfortunate enough to have step-parents like Jeffrey Scott West, who opened fire on his stepson.
Get ready to blow your friends out right now.
On the 25th of August 2023, Blount County Sheriff's deputies were called to a family residence following an argument gone. A supposed stepfather identified as Jeffrey Scott West, in his anger, thought it was wise to resolve a domestic argument with his firearm.
Get ready to blow your friends out right now.
Blow my brains out.
No! Stop it!
Shoot me, I guarantee you'll go to jail for life.
Jeffrey's stepson, Kylie Spitz, had assumed that his mother's partner was just showing his usual fits of anger towards him, but he was wrong. Jeffrey meant business, and his stepson's life was about to flash before his very eyes.
You're gonna blow my mom? You're gonna blow my mom's brains out? Point that at me again.
Unexpectedly, the crazy stepfather, true to his words, fired his gun at his stepson, hitting him in his right ear.
Oh my God! You're going to
Jeffrey, thinking that he'd his son, eventually took his own life. Kyle, on the other hand, was rushed to the hospital, and he eventually made a full recovery. agreed that Jeffrey was nuts. He was nothing compared to Janet, who put her 4-year-old son Ariel Garcia to an eternal sleep, claiming that he was simply injured when some blood was found on her shoes.
So I
got some blood drops on your shoes.
When he fell, where'd he get hurt?
just he on his head, but he fell on the ground and he hurt himself.
On the 27th of March 2023, police officers received a call from worried grandparents reporting their 4-year-old grandson who had gone missing under very mysterious circumstances. The officers began an investigation with no idea that the person responsible for the missing child was his mum and the one person who naturally owed him a duty to protect him. They located her at a rehab center and soon began to unravel a tale of endless possibilities.
Yeah, sure. Nothing on you?
No.
Okay.
You guys give us some privacy. Hey, so...
Nothing in your bra. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can I just peek and make, you don't need to reach in, I'll just...
Thank you. Do you know why we're here?
Are you okay if I open the zipper?
Why? Why are you guys here?
What's going on today?
Can I open the zipper?
Yeah.
Just checking there. Thank you. I just want to make sure before.
What's going on today with you? And like, sounds like the cops have been talking to you already.
Yeah.
It wasn't long before the cops began to notice that something was off about her that suggested that she just might know the whereabouts of her missing son. But like every criminal, there was always a smokescreen.
So
You got some blood drops on your shoes.
yeah. So my son fell this morning earlier.
Oh no.
Yeah, so, but I was able to take him to the doctors and everything was okay. I took him with another lady so she can watch him for me because I wasn't staying at home. I had problems going on with my parents and they didn't let me in the house. So I was staying with another lady. She was super sweet. That's where my son fell. And then but we left, so I was like, okay, you know. So I went to another lady's house and I told her if she could watch him for me. I wanted to come get, you know, I wanted to fully recover. I'm an alcoholic, so I was like, if you can watch him for me for 12 months, that'd be amazing because I'm not talking to my mom and she's the one that has just like a notarized paper saying that she has legal custody of them, but I have legal custody of them. She's not letting me see my older son, so I'm a little
That would be really hard.
Yeah, I'm a little bit upset about that one. So I'm here now and everything's okay.
We want to make sure that he's safe and know where he is. Who's the friend that you left it with?
I left him with another lady. I don't have her information.
Oh, well, that's not going to cut it. We got to figure out where he's at. Where can you, tell me the location where somebody could go and check on him and make sure he's okay?
In SeaTac area.
Okay.
Seattle.
More specific?
I don't have an address.
As the officers continued interrogating her, some inconsistencies started to show in her narrative. Although she was reluctant to confess, it was becoming increasingly evident that the mother, identified as Janet Garcia, was trying her best to withhold important information from the cops.
Nothing. Who's the friend? How do you know the person how did you pick the person?
She's a longtime friend that I know.
Okay, what's her name?
Alika. That's all I know. Alika Bone.
Alika Bone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you've known her? Okay, but you've known her for a long time? So how did you reach out to her?
So I reached out to her because I needed help.
How did you reach out to her?
I found her number on my old Facebook, but I no longer have a Facebook anymore. So.
Okay.
So something you can sign back into?
No.
No? You just deleted it all?
I delete it all the time. So.
Yeah, you found it today on your old Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
And her name is
Alika Bone.
Alika Bone, like B-O-N-E?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and she lives in the SeaTac area. You understand we just need to make sure that he's okay, and then we can just do that, and then we can leave you be, you know?
Yeah.
So how do we find Alika?
I don't know.
Can you describe to me how you got there from Providence?
So I just drove from there to Seattle, and then that's it.
You drove from Providence to Seattle to Alika's house?
Yes.
Okay. Did you drive on the freeway or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long did it take you to get there?
Like 2 hours.
2 hours. And what car were you driving?
My car. So just like 1 hour or so.
And what kind of car do you have?
I have a Nissan.
Okay. Where's that car now?
I don't have it with me.
Okay.
So.
Where's it at?
I left it at her house and then I came over here on the bus.
Okay. You left it at SeaTac?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what, do you remember what exit you took?
I don't know.
You go from Everett to the hospital in Everett. You get him checked out. You drive to your friend in SeaTac, you leave the car there, you leave him there, and you take a bus from SeaTac down here. Okay. And that all happened today?
Yeah.
So pretty expensive ticket. Get a C-Tram bus to come down here?
No, actually, it was only like $30.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your first name again?
Jeanette.
You're not
lying.
You have a longtime friend that you reach out to leave your son with, who you obviously care about very much.
I love him with all my heart.
Yes, and you're expressing how upset you are about what's going on between you and your mom and the custody of him and your older son. Like that's so. I know that you're not going to go leave your son with somebody and you don't know where he is.
Yeah.
Although the cops knew that Janet was trying to beat them to it by going around in circles, their primary concern at that moment was to locate little Ariel, and things were beginning to look like he would never be found again, or at least alive.
So you do know where he is?
No, I know where he is. I know where he's at.
Tell me where he's at.
I don't have the address for him.
Okay, how can we find the address for him?
I don't know.
Did you put it in your phone?
No.
Just to get there? Okay, Alika, you know where your son is because you're a mom who loves her son very much and you didn't
I'm not Alika, I'm Jeanette.
I'm sorry, Jeanette.
Yeah.
Alika, you took him somewhere and you're going to go back to him and you know where he is. So tell me where he's at so we can make sure that he's okay or what's going on.
So he's not, I mean, he's there. He's with her, but
tell
he's
me
not
how
with
to
me.
go check on him.
I can give you an address.
Okay, what's the address?
I don't know, you have to write it down.
Okay, I can do that. Thank you.
When he fell, where'd he get hurt?
Just he on his head, but he fell on the ground and he hurt himself.
Heads are the worst.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find, I don't even...
How old's your son?
He is 5. So, and if you guys can't find him or whatever, this is where I'm going to be for the next 12 months. But I mean, he's there.
They check in.
How did you guys discuss that you're obviously gonna communicate with him still, you want to check on him and all that. How are you guys gonna communicate?
Well, I'm not gonna have my phone. I'm not gonna use my phone because I'm gonna be here for the next 12 months.
Okay.
So if anything, I don't know what else.
Okay.
That's it.
You didn't discuss that with Alika before you left?
Yes, I discussed it with her. I'm gonna be here for 12 months, and then, but before that, like I don't speak to my parents or anything like that because we got into an altercation. So, but this is where I'm gonna be.
Tell me about your alcoholism. How long have you been dealing with that?
I've been drinking alcohol.
Or if you don't mind telling me, you don't have
it's
to tell me.
okay.
It's not
I've been
my
here.
business,
This is like my third. Okay, I've been here like this is like my third year here.
Okay.
So I did 11 months in recovery because I was never like an alcoholic. I was more like of a user. So the only thing I ever used was meth.
Yeah.
And I used it for roughly like 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
I came to finally get clean on and off, right? I tried it one time and then years passed and then I do it again and then years passed.
Sure.
So I'm here now. I did a full year of recovery, 11 months. And then I did my second year, like coming back and like, you know, doing the group and stuff like that. So 2 years. This is my third year clean. I started drinking a lot because I was like, okay, I'm not a drinker. I was a user.
Drugs, so alcohol's okay.
So alcohol's fine. I'm like, it's a socialized thing that everybody does. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna have dinner, I'm gonna do this. Well, I drank to the point where I can drink a whole bottle of just like liquor. So I'm like, now I'm an alcoholic.
One thing that she didn't know was the cops were going to ask her to piece together all information that she'd given them so far. It was when they began to ask for specific details about her son's injury that Janet began to realize that it was only a matter of time before the cops figured out that she'd been lying all along.
He jumped from the bed that we were sleeping on to the ground, and then he just got blood on his head, and so I had him taken to the doctor, and so he's doing good.
Okay. Okay. What did he hit it on?
Just on the ground.
Okay. How did it start bleeding?
It's just started bleeding.
Can you show me like what side of his head? Do you remember what side of his head it was?
I don't remember exactly what side of the head it was, but it's starting to rain a little bit.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so you don't... what time did it occur today?
Just, like, early, like at 10, 11.
10 or 11, okay. Do you know what time it is now?
It's already 6:30, or about to be 7.
So how long were you guys at the hospital?
We were only there for a little bit. I don't even think he got checked. We got there, and, but I didn't wait enough for him to get checked out, so.
So he didn't actually go back and get checked? Gotcha. Did you actually go inside and check him in? Okay. And then did you tell him you were leaving, or did you did? Okay, you just said he's not going to be seen and left?
Yeah.
Okay, and how is he acting?
He's okay.
Yeah.
What happened to him when he fell?
Nothing. He just cried.
Do you remember when you walked in? Like, can you describe to me when you walked in what it looked like?
Just the hospital. Just the hospital.
Okay, but can you describe, like, when you walk in the door, where was the check-in?
In the front, like I walked in, as soon as I walked in, the front desk was checked in right there, and I said my son had to be seen for something, and then his name and everything.
Okay.
And that's
You're going like this, so you wrote it down, or was there like a check-in thing? Or?
There was a check, alright, but I think they checked me in. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't write anything on there? Okay. Have you been there before?
No.
No, that was your first time?
That was my first time.
When you checked into the desk, was it just an open desk, or
just an open
was
desk.
it behind a wall, did they have like a glass wall, or?
Just an open desk.
Okay. Was there a lot of people in there? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why you didn't want to wait, because it was too long. Do you think he needed stitches or anything?
No, he's fine.
Okay, you didn't remember where his injury was?
Mm-mm.
Is it front, side, back? Do you remember?
It's the side. It was the side.
Definitely one of the sides that you recall?
The front, yeah.
Okay, front. You're kind of pointing above the eyebrow? Okay.
By stating that her son's injury was in the front of his head, it contradicted her earlier statement that he sustained an injury in the back of his head. However, it was her next statement that gave the cops the clue that she not only knew where her missing son was, but also suggested that he might be no more.
If you guys don't, locate my son, what's gonna happen?
That's what we're working on at the moment.
Why do you think they won't be able to locate him? I mean, if you got the address to where he can be.
Because, I don't know, I'm just saying, if you guys are not able to find him, what can happen?
What it's looking like right now is that we're gonna need to stay with you until we find him. Because it sounds like you said you know where he is, you know where you left him.
Right.
So it shouldn't be an issue, right? Should be able to locate him. Okay, so that's what we just need to stay with you until we locate him.
Okay.
Because it's raining and it's cold and I'm shivering. And we're gonna be with you, I think, for a little bit. Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
We're gonna be with you for a little bit. Would you mind? We have a precinct right up the road. It's comfortable and dry that we can all sit in so we can chat. So we're all out of the rain. Would that be okay?
Where is it?
It's just right down by the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just on 179.
Yeah.
And then we can give you a ride back and all of that if that's okay.
Can I get a coffee from here before we go?
We got coffee there.
We have coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we got coffee.
We can give you coffee.
Can you grab that seatbelt around your backside? This is.
And then the only other thing too, when he travels, I just got to put your purse on the front seat right there. Yeah. He's not going to get into it, but we don't like bags where we can't see them and stuff.
No worries.
Thank you.
While Janet tried to prevent the cops from understanding the mystery surrounding Ariel, it was another witness from the rehab center that exposed the inconsistencies in Janet's statement.
Saw her today, and she looked pretty out of it. I mean, she had her haircut, like Britney Spears kind of thing, went crazy because she used to have long, big black hair, And Daniel told me that her mom was calling because they can't find her son, and her mom went to her house and saw blood. I don't know how dramatic it was, but saw blood. I don't know where, but just saw blood. Okay. And they can't find her son. And then she's over here, and Daniel, my brother, where's your son? He's with my mom. And her mom's calling over here saying he can't find her son. I mean, there was a bad connection there. I don't know if she's lying, crazy. I don't know. That's the situation from what I know.
How was her behavior?
Drastically different, because she was always bubbly and loud and had this big, great laugh, kind of really annoying laugh, and talking to everybody, and she was just kind of with her hands in her pockets and quiet. And
what prompted the call for police to show up as an unwanted, or?
Because she's been problematic, I guess. And my brother I don't know if my dad told him to, get this girl out of here, because she just kind of caught. Last time she was here, she fought with one of the women here.
Okay.
She's kind of just problematic, We try to help people, but there's just a certain point where we can't help people, and you gotta go.
It's more disruptive than
exactly.
Productive. Okay. Was she? Do you know if she was being disruptive today or causing any issues?
That's what I mean. It was kind of drastically different. She just kind of quiet and went, sat in the chair, and didn't talk to nobody.
Okay. Just based on history, didn't want anything developing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what chair she sat in?
I'm sorry?
Where did she sit down at?
She sat down in one of these chairs over here. I could show you which one.
Inside or outside?
No, inside.
Okay.
That's where we have our meeting room.
She didn't talk to anybody at all?
I mean, a little chit chat saying hi and I'm back kind of thing, and everybody kind of just gave her the cold shoulder because, you know, nobody wants to deal with her.
A day after she was arrested, Ariel's body was found by the officers. Upon examination, it was discovered that he was stabbed about 41 times. She was eventually charged with first-degree with a weapon and aggravated domestic with circumstance of a vulnerable victim. Next, we go to the case of Ayanna Randolph, a 33-year-old mother who was arrested for abandoning her special needs child with no supervision.
The police are going to charge you with child endangerment.
On the 30th of May 2024, Green Township police officials had reasons to visit a residential neighborhood following reports from concerned residents that an autistic child was seen moving around the neighborhood without any pants on him. Upon arriving at the neighborhood, the officers attempted to make contact with the child's mother, who they soon realized was carefree and nowhere to be found.
How are you? Is mom or dad home? What's going on? Police department. Can you come here? Come here. Oh, come here, bud. Hey. Come here. Come here. No, come here. Oh, God. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Upon observation, the officers saw no caretakers present, and to make matters worse, this made things more as they had been called to the same residence for the same thing a day before. Fortunately, the officers were able to locate Ayanna, who was immediately lectured on child safety before being arrested.
So I have a safety plan, okay? And I talked to your mom and I talked to your sister. So your mom said she gets out of school next week, but I still don't want her coming back here until you make those changes on your house. And I'm going to show you something really quick. This is a lock that you can buy. It's called a Safety First Secure Mount Deadbolt White Lock. And I guess that's what it looks like. It's on Amazon. Just like that. Okay. To get on your doors. But anyway, so I have both kids on the plan, okay? And it's just that you're agreeing to allow both kids to stay with maternal aunt, Adrian, and their grandmother, Angela. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, it's kind of stretched up. Adrian and or Angela will provide constant supervision to your son in their home. And at this time, you will have supervised contact with both of your kids. These visits will be supervised either by Adrian or Angela. In the meantime, you need to make adjustments to your home, and then we'll make adjustments to the safety plan. The police are going to charge you with child endangerment. That's why we added both the kids to the plan. So I just need for you to sign this plan and initial that I read it to you.
So what the child endangerment would be?
So what that is, so it's going to be a misdemeanor, all right? What we'll do is I just got to take you down to our station. I'm going to do the paperwork, and then we'll run downtown. You'll just have to get processed in, and then it's Hamilton County, so I'm sure you'll probably just get bonded out today. So, but you'll have to go to court, stuff like that. But it's a M1, so misdemeanor.
Ayanna Randolph was eventually charged with endangerment.